Welcome back to Atomic Heart. This is part 18 of our walkthrough guide, and we are just exiting testing ground number 10. And we're gonna take the elevator. I will definitely make this shorter for you. When we exit, we are in some kind of a basement. We're not exactly sure where we are, but once we get up out of here, we can check the map and see where we are. So if we go up these swirly stairs, we have a chest we can loot. And there is a terminal up here. So now we can see where we are. We are pretty far from where we began. And we can see that the hawk is still down at the moment. It usually doesn't stay down for very long once we come out of the testing ground. We're going to just jump straight off the roof and head to this little house here. We can take care of that Vova right there. Because we need to speak to that pig. That's going to be our second dead animal that we can talk to. Unfortunately, we're going to be interrupted by a belly ash. And this one is just like the ones that we fought after the last testing ground. We're going to go ahead and try to get rid of him with the melee weapon. This is mainly just for practice because when we fight the belly ash boss that we have to fight as part of story progression, there is a trophy associated with killing him with a melee weapon. So this is pretty good practice. And honestly, these guys aren't too difficult. They telegraph their moves pretty bluntly, so once you know them, you really can't miss what they're going to do. See, he wasn't so bad. Now that we've gotten him out of the way, we can go and speak to this pig necromancer.
Want to go?
Okay. Whatever. Let's get going.
That pig has quite the story to tell. Anyway, we're going to go around to the right side of the house, and then we can go inside. There's quite a bit to loot in here. And at this point, there are a lot of enemies around in this little town. And we're relatively safe in here, so we're going to go ahead and loot everything we can. You can get quite a bit out of this house in particular. So from here, we're going to be going straight to another relay, and then we're going to speak to quite a few necromancers. We're going to tick a few of them off of the list here. I guess being that it's, a small village, there are quite a few people who met their end just doing their chores or, going through their regular day. We're going to exit this house, go down the driveway, and so we come up by that yellow truck. We need to run straight ahead. You can hop the fence. There is a short swirly tower. You can see it with the red flag on the top. We're heading straight there. We're just running past all of the enemies so that we can get up here, because some of them can't reach us up here. I think a Vova will follow us. See, we'll get interrupted. We used the relay and unlocked that door to the next testing ground. Oh, the Vova didn't follow us. Maybe I'll trigger him when I come down the stairs. Yep, there he is. So we're going to go ahead and take him out. He's one of those annoying black suited ones. They're so difficult. I mean, in comparison to the white suited ones, they're so difficult. But you know, that polymeric jet, it really helps, especially if you're using cartridges in your weapons. It's super helpful. Now, when we come down here, there's going to be a bunch of those red cylindrical things waiting for us. Just so that you don't have to watch all this combat, I am going to cut it out. I'm going to get rid of them so that we can move on. Now, because we need to speak to a Necromancer, which you may have seen when I scan the area, I'm going to go take that guy out up there. And just as a little reminder, if you have not gotten your scanner trophy yet, don't forget to scan the enemies. There are still some enemies that we have not met yet that are not scanned in, so just keep that in mind. You should be scanning your area anyway, but try to scan the enemies in particular.
Comrade, can you please
Here,
tell
right
me
in
what
front
you
of those
think?
swirly stairs, we have Necromancer number 33. From him, we're going to go sort of diagonal back toward the house that we looted that had the pig. Because at the crossroad here, at the little T intersection, there's
Oh, what a
another
beautiful
Necromancer.
Going.
We need to
There's
speak to her.
trouble
She's
in
number
paradise.
34. And then we're going to follow the path along that field. I'm trying to avoid a lot of these enemies if I can, which of course, you know, sometimes you just can't. So if we go along the other side, we came down the back end, and then we're going to go up the other side of it. You can see there's a hay bale just on the edge. Near that hay bale, we're going to find Necromancer number 35. Be sure to speak to him.
I stroll back.
All right.
Now, with
Later.
that out of the way, we're going to head back to testing ground number 2. That's the testing ground that we opened at the top of those swirly stairs. So we're going straight back to where we came. See the swirly stairs over there with the red flag on top? Directly in front of us is a small creek. We're going to cross the creek and climb the rocks, which I don't know if I just picked the hard way to climb the rocks, but I struggle a little bit here. I do make it, but I guess I just picked the hard way. And there you can see the little blue mushroom building. There's a chest there. It looks like I previously opened it. In here, you can save and then hit the elevator button. As always, I will be cutting the elevator ride short so that you don't have to sit through a loading screen.
Another
And
testing
once we
ground,
enter
another new weapon.
this
Indeed.
testing
I
ground,
thought
go
Facility
ahead and loot
3826
the
was all
room
about civilian
that
science,
is
you know,
to the right
exploring
of
outer
where we
space,
entered.
increasing crop yield and all that jazz.
This is a complex undertaking. Consider this. The facility is Dr. Sechenov's fiefdom. It is equal parts mobile telephones, high-yield apple trees, and lethal weaponry.
What's your point?
Could it be that your boss isn't the messiah you think he is?
Shut your speaker. You talk too much.
Once we have gotten everything useful out of that room, you can come in here and save just so that you don't have to ride the elevator again.
Saving data.
And then we can properly enter the testing ground itself. We are going to encounter a couple of Vovas right in the beginning, which is very odd. They're not hard. One swing with the axe gets both of them, but it's highly unusual to see that in a testing ground. So I am going to go and check here, but I don't think there's anything to loot. We're just going to go straight in. Now this is one of those puzzles that has those spinny wheels. This first wheel that you see, you want to spin it 3 times. You can see the mannequin moving just above the wheel. You want the mannequin to move 3 times before we go down.
The Doll R9 full-scale anthropomorphic test dummy is
Now in
designed
here,
for
there is a
experimental
chest
research into the
underneath
effects of
those
collision
plus
and trauma
sign
on a living human body.
things. I don't know
A doll
what
is
to
not
call them.
merely an inanimate
Up
object,
here, you want
but an
to
intricate
shock
hardware device
that
equipped
part
with
of
an
the
array
wall
of
to
electronic
move
sensors connected to
the
data collection hubs.
move the box.
These sensors allow us to
We'll come
monitor
back up
exactly
the
what happens
stairs.
to the dummy during potentially lethal experiments.
Now this door is open. We have to wait for this plus sign thing to spin where we can pass through to the other side. So it should be the next one. Just try and time it as best as you can. Jump across and get over all of that before it moves again. Here, we need to spin this wheel 2 times, or no, 3 times. It's 3 times for both wheels. That way we can jump across and get through to the next area. It's not too difficult, but you know, this is a guide, so I'm helping. That Looty is, let's see here. It's number 16 and it's blueprint number 51. In my previous video, I said I thought I had my numbers wrong with the blueprints. I did. I went back and double checked. So we're on number 51 now. So as you can see down those stairs, there's a little bit to loot. And in this room, straight coming up from the stairs straight ahead, if you crawl underneath those boxes, you can also find some loot back here as well. This is all before entering the next puzzle room.
Soviet and foreign scientists
This is
have proven that
another
over the
magnet
course of this
room.
planet's existence,
It's
its magnetic
fairly
north and
straightforward.
south have often changed places. Theoretically, the
Here
same
I'm
can
going to
happen
stand
in our
on this
lifetime.
plate that's on the ground and
It can
shock the
happen at any
ceiling.
moment. And yet,
Jump
the
across
effects
to
of
the
such
blue
natural
plate,
disasters are difficult
shock
to
the ceiling
predict.
again, and then
This is
jump
why
across
scientists
here.
at Testing Ground 2
We
are
can
doing their best to
land
emulate
on
the conditions
these
of a bygone
red
era
plates
and
along the
recreate
wall,
exact
shock
appearance
the
of our
ceiling,
planet during
jump
the last
and
geomagnetic
dash
reversal
to grab onto
40,000
these
years
yellow
ago.
handholds, turn around, jump and dash to the next one, turn to the right and jump to the next one, go all the way to the left, and we'll turn and jump and dash to this, the red plates, then jump across to the handholds that go up to the red plates again. Now here, we're going to shock the ceiling so that the platform goes down and we can jump up to push the button. And the button is going to lift up those stairs. We need to climb those stairs to get to the next section. From here, we're going to jump and dash across to get to this platform and then shock the ceiling, jump and dash to the yellow handholds. Turn around at the end, jump and dash to the next handholds, and then turn around again and jump to the last handholds. And when we turn around, we'll be able to jump straight onto this blue platform. Here I'm going to shock the ceiling, get close to the edge. We're going to shock it again, and as it's going down, we're going to run and jump across to these yellow handholds here, and then jump across to the red plated platform. Shock the ceiling so that we get this platform up, And once we get up to the top, you have to turn around and shock that magnet there that's in the side of the platform to move what we're standing on and reach the vent. So it's, you know, slightly different, but not too much. It doesn't take a whole lot of brain power. So just follow along this vent until we get to the end. And you can see there straight ahead is a save room. Here we need to shock that wall as well to move the door that we just entered. And then go around to the right side of the room for Looty number 17. That's blueprint number 52 inside. Then you can go and make your save in the save room. And we can go through this doorway that we just opened by shocking the magnets on the wall. And we're in yet another magnet room. So this one really wasn't too bad. We only had those two Volvas right at the beginning. And they were super easy.
But what if we could adapt to live in zero gravity conditions?
So in here, you can jump on that blue plated platform, but you need to be on the one that doesn't move next. And then look down and shock the wall to the right. Here, I shocked that just so that you can see a layout of the room, but we don't need to shock it. So just go over, climb on this blue plated platform in the corner. You can shock the ceiling. And then we can hop onto this platform here. We can jump and dash across the little wall in between and then hop up onto this blue plated platform that has one directly on top. Shock the ceiling. And from here we're going to run, jump and dash to this little platform here and the same over to the red plated platform. Now we can shock the ceiling again to get onto this platform, shock it again to raise it up, and then we can climb over the top of this cage to exit the room. As you can see, to the left is the save room, and to the right is the final Lootyagin of this testing ground. This is number 18, and it holds blueprints 53 and 54.
Access grant.
Here, we are going to get the Weapon Master Trophy that is for crafting 5 different types of weapons. I couldn't remember in the last video if we had gotten this one before, but now I know that we hadn't. So now we have our 5 different types of weapons. And here I'm just going really quickly through to show that I crafted several other weapons. At this point, I think we're only waiting on one more weapon. And we should get that at the end of the video. The final weapon that we need for the Lord of War trophy. Here I'm just doing a little bit of upgrading to the glove. Every bit of upgrading that you can do is massively helpful, so don't forget to do that. Use that neuropolymer when you are around a Nora station. And you don't have to choose what I choose. I'm just trying to level up all of the things that I use the most often. With that, we can save and we can head over to the elevator to exit this testing ground. We are getting very close to being done with these, which is fantastic. Now, coming up, just so that we are thorough and clear this area out, we're going to head over to the gray door. We're going to find the terminal that's going to open up the gray door so that we can bring down the hawk. When you exit the elevator, I'm over here at the road and opening up the map so that we can see where we are and where we need to go. We need to head over here. In this area, we really haven't explored any of that. So I am going to run near this field. You want to pass up the save mushroom, and you see that tower directly in front of us. We need to get to that tower because it has the terminal that we need to disable the hawk. It sticks out like a sore thumb if you're looking up. So just head there, stand on the yellow plate, and we will be lifted up to the terminal. When I'm doing these terminals, just pay attention to which camera I use. Because some of these, like this one has 10 out of 10 active cameras. Some of them have quite a few cameras. And they're kind of hard, like they don't have numbers or anything. So just, you can stop and pause the video if you need to see which camera I go to. But the one that you see is always going to be the one that you need to unlock whatever it is that we're looking for. So now there's the giant CCP sign. We're going toward that. Lots of cows in the road, which is kind of cool. And we're headed back into this village.
Of course not.
And we're
Thinking is
just
hard. And
running.
you're
We're
the
not
only
paying
one in the
attention
whole
really
world
to
who can
any
do it,
enemies.
right?
We want to
Now
go
would be a
up
good time
this
to start,
hill.
Major. The USSR is giving away its robots for free.
And then
As
around the back of
humanitarian
that
aid.
fence, you can see there's
But
a yellow
manufacturing
truck
robots is
there
not
that's
cheap, and the
wrecked.
USSR expends
Continue
vast quantities of
following
raw
the path.
materials, energy, and industrial capacity to build them.
There's
Because Comrade
polymer
Sechenov wants
just
to make life
all
easier for
willy-nilly in the
everyone. He doesn't
town.
care about money.
I'm
Robots should
going
toil
up
in
these
mines and
rocks just
factories,
for a
and
better
people should
view
tell them what to do. I'm talking about real
so that I
people,
can
not sick
see
fucks like you.
where I'm trying to go. You can see the
Charles,
little
how'd
blue
that
mushroom
whacked-out psycho
is off
Petrov
to the
manage
right.
To reprogram civilian robots to kill people.
As I
And
mentioned
the
earlier,
gray
Victor
building is
Petrov
very
a
near that
talented
blue
engineering
mushroom,
programmer.
Why didn't he use his
just
talents
across
to
the little
help
creek.
people?
So we're running straight to that, and we're going to overload that hawk. And it gives us approximately 4 minutes just to run around free and do whatever it is that we need to do. So yeah, they always like to get right in your way. Here, I'm gonna try to wake this guy up, but I can't. It won't let me use the R1 to sneak up on him, so I'm actually gonna have to get rid of him. So I won't be doing that anymore. Here, I am just going to scan the area, look for lootable items, loot them as quickly as I possibly can while making my way back out of this little village. Feel free to do the same, or feel free to not do it at all. If you feel like you don't need to loot anything, you certainly don't have to. But personally, I think it's worth it because I am extremely close to the end of the game as of doing this voiceover recording. I have about 23 videos finished, and I'm not at the end, but I am extremely close. And I still don't have every single thing that I want upgraded. So that should definitely tell you something. With as much as I loot, oh man, it definitely means that you need a lot of materials and a lot of different kinds of materials. So as you can see, like there's really no rhyme or reason to my looting. I'm just kind of following the marker, but going, off to the sides of the path to loot any items that I see while scanning, and also trying not to waste time. The houses tend to have the most loot. You can find, a couple of chests here and there throughout the town, but the houses really are the best place. I think we're winding down here. I don't think I'm going to be looting too much. After this, we're going to start heading for that marker. You can see the hawk is still down. But I'm not seeing too much around here that I missed. There is something on top of that house, but I'm not sure what it is. And I was starting to feel the pressure. You know I've been looting for a couple of minutes now, and I didn't really want to risk being stuck up there. So we're just going to head down this way.
That's not what I was hoping for.
There's a small bit of loot over there to the right. I think I'm actually going to go get it, even though these guys are... Well, that guy is awake. But he doesn't really bother us. And we're going to head back to the road and follow the marker. I'm not even going to stop at that little save mushroom. There should be one coming up further down the road. So I'm just running past all these little mechanical guys. I just don't have time for them.
You made the wrong decision,
Up here, I
Major.
don't need to go that way. I actually need to
It
go
was the
down
right
this little
one,
dirt
traitor.
path that's
You'll
off
pay
to
for
the
everyone
right.
you murdered.
Oh, you primitive imbecile.
And you can see straight
Idiot.
ahead, there's another
It is
save
you
mushroom.
who will kill millions of people all over the world with your rash actions right now, and the
And
rest
look,
will
I
be
know it's not a
enslaved.
mushroom,
Unlike you, I haven't killed
but it looks
anyone.
like a mushroom to me. It brings
You're
me
just
back
a
to the old
mindless
Mario
attack
Brothers
dog.
days in my
A
brain.
dumb
So
enforcer.
that's just what I
You
call
don't
it,
have the
because
smarts to grasp
that's what
even
pops
the
into my head.
obvious.
Access granted.
In here, I didn't do anything at all, so I just cut it out. We're gonna save because we don't want to have to do all that again. And then the tower there, we're gonna head straight for it. This area is extremely annoying, which I find all the little village areas are. They're
What's all the
just
fuss?
packed with enemies. And I have not played this on anything but Armageddon mode. So I honestly don't know if it's any better. I would assume it's better on like easy mode, that there may be less enemies, or maybe they die quicker. I honestly don't know. Okay, up here we're going to use this terminal. Pay attention to the cameras that I use. We need to unlock that gray building. It's necessary in order to enter the next testing ground. We have to unlock that and bring the hawk down, because we have to enter an area by climbing on the hawk and then sliding down the like the tethers. So yeah, that's necessary if you want to enter the next testing ground. As you can see, we're just following the railroad track and heading straight for the gray building. We're gonna hop up here and use this terminal, overload the relay, and then just wait for the hawk to come down. Those guys should, yeah, they're all disabled now. I'm gonna try to jump over them because I really don't want to have to fight through all these guys just to exit, but it looks like I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna go after the easiest one, and hopefully I won't wake up any of the others. I can just take him out and be done with it. Gosh, those shields are super annoying. Oh, look at that. I was able to get out. Haha. And he got stuck. Anyway, we're going to come out of there. And I'm going to head back to where I was. and check out that little building that's right next to the tower that we climbed. I think it just has some loot inside. But we have time. So once we're done with that, we're going to head back the way that we were before, down the railroad track, and we're going to pass up the Hawk. We're not ready to do that just yet. While all these enemies are sleeping. You come and pass all of these train cars. And right at the end here, next to that dead guy, we're going to find Chirper number 43. We haven't had one of those in a while, so don't forget to pick that up. Over here, there's a dandelion camera there to the left you can disable if you like.
I walked up to him and told him to stop, but he just ignored it and drove away from the train
Up
station.
here on the other
So
side,
what I
there's a
wanna know is,
dandelion camera you can disable
that?
right
Holy
there.
shit.
Here, I did try. Yeah, that guy's still alive and he's mad. Okay, he's done for. I did try to jump over this wall, but as you can see, it's not going to work. I didn't think it was going to work, but I figured I'd try it anyway. I tried it from the train cars. I tried to get over this wall every way that I could think of to maybe cheese it, but personally, I couldn't do it. If you can do it, let me know in the comments. I am just not that good. So anyway, we're going to get onto the Hawk. Hold on to the middle pole, and I'm going to cut out the waiting because you do wait for quite a while. When it lifts back up into the air, the tethers will release, and we're going to slide down this tether that I'm looking at here. It's going to take us to the top of that building on the inside of this fence. Don't forget to loot the items that are there. And we're going to come down here. We can loot that as well. And we're going to try and pick off as many enemies as possible. Going down the next flight of stairs. See, there's a guy here. I tried to sneak up on him and it didn't work. I guess it was just bad timing. But we're going to take care of him and loot the chest nearby.
How about this?
And then when we go down the next set of stairs, we're going to be picking off the enemies. Because there are going to be a few that are just here waiting. And this is a really good place to get rid of the enemies in this area also. Once you clear out the actual inside of the building, some of them won't come in. Like those guys will, but they're like super small, so. There's one down. And you can see there's a Vova over there, and one of those saw blade robots is down there as well. Okay, that guy, the little saw blade guy, he's agitated. I'm going to try and take him out from this little gap in the stairs here without hitting the Vova. Because he's completely oblivious to what's going on. So we're going to sneak down there and try to take him out silently. Which thankfully we were able to do. We saved ourselves a headache and a few bullets. Yeah, the white Vovas with the batons, they're super annoying. So, what we need to do We need to clear out as much as we can to be able to go to the, like, from where we exit here, we need to go to the right. There is a lock on the door that we need to get in. We're looking for a cookie. The testing ground that we're headed to, which is testing ground 11, it needs a cookie to open up the door. And it's inside of the room of, you can see it to the right. It's a little wooden door. We need to go in there, and it's locked. And then once we get the cookie, in order to exit this area, there is a double locked gate. So we need as much time as we can get. We cannot do it if there are enemies after us constantly. So there's, you saw I got rid of a dandelion that was to the left, that's on the wall of this building. We do not want the alarm level going off, and you can see the alarm level is in the upper right corner. We do not want that going off because you won't survive. You might as well just reload your save because you won't survive. There are just too many enemies and they swarm you. So here you can see this door. It's one of the nice lockpicks that I like. Look at that. And then there's going to be a vulva inside of this room, so get ready. Your freeze is really helpful, and you can upgrade it to where when they're frozen it does damage as well. So in here you can loot everything in the room. On the floor inside of a suitcase is the cookie. And make sure you scan before you leave this area because there can be lurking enemies because the gate is right there. And it, like I said, it's a double lock. So we have to make sure that we're not going to be bothered by any enemies that could potentially sneak up on us. So see that little red rolling guy? We're going to get rid of him. I think he's hopping around outside. There he is. He's mad because we are hiding. I'm creeping around just to try and get rid of him. See, okay, there was a white one. I saw the red one rolling around over here. We just have to make sure we have time. There he is. Take him out. And we should be good to go ahead and open up these locks. As you can see, this is one of the toughest color locks. So it's going to take you a minute. And actually, I'm going to speed this up because it took me a while to get it right. And there's someone shooting at me from outside of the door, but they can't get me, so it doesn't matter. As soon as we get that door open, I don't know why I ran the other way. But you want to run straight through the door. And we're going to head down the side of the hill toward the blue mushroom. That's where we can enter our testing ground. You can follow these rocks. It makes a nice little path over to the mushroom. And you really don't take any fall damage or anything. Don't worry about those guys. Just run, dash away so that their projectiles don't hit you. And go straight for that door. We're going to insert the cookie. I think I was trying to hide. Oh man, this guy, those medic robot things, they suck.
Get over here, you little fucker!
But if you hit the little tubes on the top of them, there's like some little pink purplish tubes that poke out kind of like bunny ears on the top of them. That gets them. pretty fast. Here we have a light puzzle. I think this one was pretty easy. And then we have to insert the cookie on the other lock. I don't know how I did that. I think it just glitched out because there's no cut there. I don't know. I have no idea what just happened. But anyway, the door is open and we can head inside the elevator to enter testing ground number 11. And I'll cut the long elevator ride.
Okay, we're inside. Let's search the testing ground and get the hell out of here. We need to deliver
In here,
Petrov's
go
head.
straight ahead and loop the
Petrov,
room.
ASAP.
Keep your eyes peeled, Comrade Major. There's more to Sakhalin than meets the eye.
We can deal with that. The other places weren't exactly a walk in the park, you know.
Don't go into the testing ground yet. We're going to head into this save room here. And we are finally going to earn the Lord of War trophy for crafting the final weapon in our arsenal. We do not need any more weapons. We've got all of them. And you should probably have already chosen your favorite. I hear good things about this weapon, the Zvezdochka. I don't know how to say it, but I'm trying. I've heard good things about it, but I personally have not used it. I really like the axe, so I stuck with it.
So, what will it be, Major?
And before I save, I'm actually going to go into my storage and to move a few things around. And just in case you didn't know, you can disassemble items. If you go into your storage and then push R2, you can disassemble any items that you just want the materials from. So, yeah, don't forget that. I like to keep the fire cartridge inside of the axe. It's my favorite, and I like having a freeze cartridge inside the shotgun. But anyway, you set up your arsenal the way that you see fit, and we'll be using it in the next video. We're going to end this one here. It's gone on long enough. Thank you all so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe if you have found this helpful and enjoyable. And hopefully I will see all of you in number 19. Until then, Khajiit always has wares.